I'm going to take you through the homework for the speed camp. It's very important that we understand the focus or the purpose of this stretching. This stretching is designed to make you more flexible, and for that to happen, there's going to be a little bit of discomfort. Okay, you have to put your body through a little bit of discomfort to get more flexible. You're going to go through some static stretches. Some are a little bit more dynamic than others, and you're going to end with mobility. I'm going to take you through that right now. Hamstring slash one bent. So what that means is you're going to have a band. It could be a jump rope, a rope, anything you got, or a fancy band like this. The leg with the band is going to be straight. Your opposite leg is going to be bent. You're going to raise that leg as high as you can with the muscles in your leg only, and then you're just going to help with the band. Hold it for 2 seconds and back down. So it's up and down. Up and down. What you want to focus on is your foot not rolling out, staying straight up and down, and your other hip staying straight too. So it's up and down. The one right after that is band hamstring stretch with both legs straight. So your opposite leg's going to be straight on the ground. Raising up as high as you can. Pull up and down as high as you can. Pull up and down. When you do this, your foot that's out in front is going to want to turn to the side. You got to fight super hard to keep this toe pointed straight up and down and this leg flat on the ground. So as you pull up, you're forcefully pushing that opposite leg towards the ground, and you're just working through that. And you're going to do that 10 times. After that, we're going to do bent knee hamstring stretch. And what that means is the leg with the band, you're going to bring in bent. And you're going to straighten it out without your knee moving. Pull on the band, bend it, bring it in just a little bit closer, straighten it out, pull on the band, bend it, and a little bit further. And you're going to keep doing it. You're going to feel this stretch a lot closer to your knee. After that, you have knee hugs. So what we're going to do with that, you're going to lay with both legs straight. And if you put your hands under your back, your lower back, you'll notice it's not up against the ground. You're going to raise your knee up as high as you can without letting your lower back curl towards the floor. And you're going to finish off the stretch by bringing your knee to your chest. This whole time, you're focusing to keep that lower back off the ground. And you're going to hold that stretch for 2 seconds. Go back out. Do it again. Keep that lower back off the ground. Keep everything in a straight line. And then you'll do that 5 times and then switch legs. And if you notice one side's a lot harder than the other side, that's something that we need to work on. Alright, now I'm going to show you a kneeling quad stretch. With this, you're going to find a wall. So that's kind of in the way, but you're going to take one foot behind you, and you're going to put that knee almost right up against the wall, or within about 6 inches. The further away you are from the wall, the easier it's going to be. So if you're tight, you might need to go a little bit further away. Once you're in this position, you're going to take your opposite foot, step it out in front, so you're kneeling, and then you're going to take your hand that's opposite of the foot on the wall, pull it behind your hip so it's even, and then the hand of the side that's up against the wall, you're going to put straight up. And at this point in time, you're just going to float your hips forward till you feel stretch in your quad, and you're going to hold it. Your body's going to want to cheat by kind of opening up or twisting side to side. You got to work to keep your hips squared up, your shoulders level. Next stretch on your program is an external hip rotation stretch. So what you need to do is take one leg out in front of you, and your other leg bent back behind you. Keep your chest nice and tall, and you're going to kind of turn your shoulders towards that knee that's out in front of you. And without letting your back bend, you're going to tilt out over your knee. And you're going to do the same thing towards that foot. And then you'll switch. You're going to hold each one of those, or then you switch legs. You're going to hold each position on each leg for 15 seconds. I'm going to show you from the side. When you tilt, you want to keep your back flat. If all I do is this, I'm not stretching. You got to keep that back nice and tall and tilt out over your knee. For a standing quad stretch, this probably isn't the best thing to use, but it's convenient for me right now. All you need to do is find something about waist height or a little bit lower that you can put your foot up on. You're going to take one foot, up on that object. Try to keep a good tall posture, everything in a straight line. All you're going to do is sink down with your opposite foot till you feel a stretch in your quad, and you're going to hold that position. Now your body's going to kind of want to open up. You got to fight to keep everything straight so you feel the full stretch. Kneeling hip flexor stretch, so we're going to be on one knee, other foot out in front, similar to the kneeling quad position, but our foot's not up against the wall. And you're just going to keep a nice tall posture, and you're going to push your hips forward till you feel a stretch in your hip flexor. And you're going to hold that. I'll go ahead and show you from the side. So in the kneeling position, trying to stretch out that hip flexor right here. Nice tall chest. Push your hips forward. Hold that stretch. Next stretch is a quadruped groin. All quadruped means is you're on your hands and knees. Okay, so you'll be on your hands and knees. You're going to take one foot straight out from your knee. Alright, so it's in a straight line. Toes pointed straight ahead, and your foot is flat. From this position, you're going to arch your back, push your butt back till you feel a stretch in your groin, and you're going to hold that. You're going to go forward, and you're going to go back till you feel a stretch in your groin, and hold it. And then you'll switch legs after doing 5 on each side. So I'll go ahead and show you from the side so you can see. On your hands and knees, foot straight out, flat, pointed straight ahead. You're going to push your butt back till you feel a stretch in your groin. You're almost tilting your hips down as you go back. And that's what's going to open up your groin and stretch. If you just sink back without doing anything with your hips, you're not going to feel a stretch. Staggered ankle mobility, push-up calf stretch. You've probably done the push-up calf stretch before. The staggered ankle mobility. It's going to be important to us because it's similar to our 40 stance that we're going to practice every once in a while to work on our weight going forward. You're going to have staggered feet, and all you're going to do is sit your butt down and then stand up, down, and up. I'll go ahead and show you from the side. So you'll start with your heels up, you're going to go butt down, and as you stand up, push your heels towards the ground, butt down, and as you stand up, you push your heels towards the ground, and you'll switch feet when you do that because the foot that's out in front is going to feel it a little bit more. On one foot, and you're going to take your other foot on top, and you're just going to let that heel go back towards the ground. That's going to stretch out your calf. The important part here is to make sure you hold your end range of motion. That means get as low as you can, hold it for a second or two, and then get back to the beginning position. Holding that position is going to make us stronger at our end range of motion, and that strength alone is going to make you more flexible there because you're going to be more comfortable there, and your end range of motion is going to gradually keep improving without necessarily lengthening your muscles. So the first one is a side lunge. What we're going to do here, you're going to start with your knee up, give it a knee hug, stretch out your butt, then you're going to step out into a side lunge. Both feet flat, both feet pointed straight as low as you can. Hold it for a second. Go right back up to balance. Down. Hold it for a second. And right back up. After 5 of those, you'll switch legs. Important thing, when you sink down into your lunge, make sure all your weight's on your heels and your butt's back like you're trying to sit in a chair back behind that foot. You're not doing one of these. For the side lunge, you have a drop step lunge. You're not going to hug your knee now, you're just going to lift it up. You're going to step down and back so it's at a 45-degree angle. Sink into a lunge, hold it for a second. Back to knee up. Sink. Back to knee up. And your arms will coordinate like you're running. After you do 5, switch legs. Crossover lunge. Don't worry about putting your knee up now, you're just going to step at a 45-degree angle. You'll end up in a regular straight ahead lunge. The important part is when you push back, you're ending up squared up to where you started. So it's step, drive back, and then we'll go to the other side, step, drive back. You don't just alternate, so you do 5 on each side. For the seated T-spine rotation, we're going to get into a butterfly position, about 6 inches away from the wall. We're going to interlock our fingers, and we're going to put our hands right behind our head. We're going to back as hard as we can as we're pushing our knees down, keeping our posture nice and tall. We're going to rotate till our elbow touches the wall, back the other way, and you're going to do it 5 times each side. If you're working your hardest to push your knees down and your elbows back and stay up super tall and not let your back do this, it's going to be a pretty difficult exercise, but it's very beneficial. If you kind of cheat through it, you're not going to get that much out of it. With that, all you're going to do is take a big step into a bench, into a chair, anything that's not going to move on you. I don't know if you can see my back heel, but it needs to be straight up. And you're going to sink your hips forward as you take your arm and turn your chest and your knees as far as you can. You're going to feel a stretch in your obliques, you're going to feel a stretch in your hip flexor, and your glutes and your hamstring. The last mobility is a squat triple extension. And all it is, we're going to do a squat where we touch the ground with our legs straight. Then you're going to sink your butt down into a squat. Get your back up nice and tall. Push with your heels and you stand up. And when you're about all the way up, you're going to drive onto your toes. So it's down, butt goes down, chest goes up, stand up. Once you got here, press onto your toes. I'll show you from the side. Touch the ground, sink your butt down and back, get your back as tall as you can, push with your heels, and then drive with your toes. Alright, that concludes your stretching program for the speed camp. Hopefully everything makes sense. If you have any questions, obviously I'll be more than happy to help you out. 2 things to take into consideration. Once you get used to these stretches and how to do them, it's not going to take that long. If you truly want to get faster, flexibility plays a huge key in that. It also plays a huge role in preventing injury. If you're imbalanced, if you have one leg that's tighter than the other, one hip flexor that's tight, one hamstring that's tighter, one quad that's tighter, that's all going to put stress on a different part of your body and might lead to breakdown. And that's what we're trying to help improve here is performance and also injury prevention. I think you can accomplish this stretching routine in 10 minutes, 15 minutes tops once you get used to it. I encourage you to all try to do it every single night. Maybe start off 3 nights a week and build up. Even if it's a busy day, I'm sure you watch TV for at least 15 minutes. You can do this while you watch TV. You can lay on your family room floor. If you truly want to get faster, if you truly want to make yourself better, you have to stretch. You have to put your body in a position that it can succeed in.